Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ringside Roundup. It's the Game Changers Sports Network coming at you. I am your host, JD. Joining me is the smartest man in the room, Martin Lee, and Mr. Adam Craith. And guys, before we start, I just want to say, go grab your beer. Happy 316. It's Steve Austin Day. Someone give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. 316 Day. Of course, Austin 316. Go ahead, dump your Bibles, drink your beer and vitamins. Something like that, right? That's how it went.
Right. Something like that. Good enough. Good enough.
I was a fan during the Attitude Era. Maybe. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what is going on in the grand world of wrestling. We've got, we'll start off with, of course, our favorite brand to talk about, WWE, and what they have been doing so great. Now let's talk about what they've been doing wrong. Thank you.
Jay.
So I was once again working when Raw was on, and I heard we got another title change over at the WWE. Is this part of their usual recipe going into WrestleMania, or is this just something that we don't think that they even thought about? It feels like it wasn't thought out quite right. You guys want to talk about the new tag team champs?
No.
I saw. This is really my biggest problem with Raw wrestling. You have the Hurt Business, who were the Raw Tag Team Champions, and they honestly deserve it. And it's a new name. Jay, Craith, if I ask you people, if you listen to who do you think won last night, who do you think? Who do you think won? Who do you think will win?
I mean, between the New Day and Hurt Business?
Yeah, who do you think won?
I mean, theoretically, I would assume the Hurt Business would win to build up a stable.
Nope. It was the New Day. They are the Raw Tag Team Champions again. Now, the New Day are entertaining, but I gotta say this. How many times do we have to have them as tag team champions? Like, it's getting old. They don't need the tag team talent. Like, they don't need the tag team talent anymore. They're entertained by themselves.
Which reign are they on?
Like, 11, I'm not really sure, but...
Number 11.
But Shelton and Kendrick, honestly, they need those titles. They were going so well with the title. They had a lot of momentum, but does WWE do anything with that? No, do that. They could have had somebody else, another tag team, where the titles like build out another tag team, but the answer is no. They can't build another tag team because the WWE supports tag team wrestling as much as the Houston Texans support Deshaun Watson.
Hot NFL takes from Martin Lee here. No, it's true though. Like you would say, give them another, give a new team a title shot. But the Hurt Business was that new team. And as Martin said, there's just not enough tag teams. WWE does not do a good job at building tag teams up the right way. Craith, what's your hot take on this?
I think personally, it was obvious the New Day was going to win. You guys think too much as wrestling fans. Like, you guys are too smart. Like, you do the things that we would want to see, but that's not what WWE does. WWE does what Vince McMahon wants to do. So yeah, of course the Hurt Business is going to lose their titles because they have to be available at Mania to play second and third fiddle to Bobby Lashley during the title match for shenanigans, because God forbid we get a clean finish in that match either.
Who would have guessed, who needs a clean finish at WrestleMania where stories are supposed to usually come to a conclusion?
Like at the biggest show of the year, who needs a clean finish?
Right?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and that's exactly why. And that's exactly why the Hurt Business lost the titles here, and I'm sick of it. They make moments, and I don't even know like what the moment is going to be. What, Cedric turns, they snap, they break up on their way. Like who cares? Because it's not the story anybody wanted to hear in the first place. So nobody's interested. Nobody's interested from the very beginning.
So
we just don't want to hear it.
So that begs the question: is Hurt Business really kind of screeching to a halt? Is this thing going to fall apart?
Yep.
Just yep.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I hate to say it, but maybe at the WrestleMania, if Bobby loses the titles, then hire to McIntyre, maybe, but I want it to end.
No, I mean, I thought Hurt Business was very unique as a stable right now because it's a smart stable. You know, it's not just a bunch of guys just going, we're going to beat everybody up. It's like you got MVP as the leader. He's talking smoothly. They're laying down challenges. It feels like they're actually doing what they have to do to rise in the ranks, you know, even if sometimes they do it illegitimately by having all of them at ringside or whatever. But it feels like a nice, fresh stable for this era.
And you know, Jay, I also learned a little bit of continuity that you would appreciate. I guess MVP and Shelton X Benjamin used to tag in New Japan for a period. So
that was before I would have been watching, unfortunately.
Not that they'd ever draw attention to that sort of continuity that we would benefit from as a viewer, but it's there. It's there if you dig for it.
Right. But that brings us over to what Craith said. You need to have Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin available for the main event, for the title match at Mania, which has been announced. What's going on with this? I don't think there was any hype actually leading up to it. I heard reports that it was just a Twitter, like it was a Twitter post. They didn't even mention it on the show until later. If it was mentioned on the show, I'm not sure. As I said, I was on a train. I don't know.
I was in the rain.
So
yeah, Drew McIntyre just came out and said that he's going to tie shot at WrestleMania. And apparently he has a rematch at WrestleMania, and he's facing Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. But here's the thing. For the past few weeks, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus have been feuding.
Right.
It's been a pretty good feud. It's been a decent feud. It's been decent. But here's the problem. They are facing a Fastlane, and you figure that you would have Drew McIntyre with Sheamus to be in a number one contenders match to be for Lashley's title. Like, that's the one that makes sense. But nope, they just give it to Drew for no reason. And of course, Sheamus is not gonna win a Fastlane. But every wrestling fan should know that. But they should know that Drew is winning. But we want things that make sense. And Drew with Sheamus at Fastlane will determine the number one contender at Fastlane makes sense.
Right. You're shedding a little bit of legitimacy on the contest at the very least. You got to do that. Like, so they're just feuding, and it's going to add, you know, we're going to have a match at Fastlane that what happened? Like, what does it prove? If you've already got Drew McIntyre lining up to try to go face Bobby Lashley at Mania. Like, I feel like the pieces are where everyone is where WWE wants them to be, but we haven't done anything to get those pieces to where they should be. You know, they're like, oh, well, we already know that this is the match we want, but you haven't earned them to be there. I mean, that's my feeling on it. I don't feel like we've earned this match yet.
I think that the WWE needs to stop running Fastlane, period, and just use the time between Chamber and Mania to build the stories that we already know are going to happen in that time frame. Nobody wants to see Fastlane hasn't been interesting. No, I was gonna say since Ambrose Triple H, but that was like Roadblock or something else redundant, right? Like that wasn't even Fastlane. So no, Fastlane's never been relevant. It's an easy skip for anybody all the time.
So you're suggesting. Go ahead, Martin.
The only reason why I'm watching Fastlane is to see how it works on Peacock. That's the only reason why.
Martin doing it just for the streaming ability.
That's why I'm watching it, to see how it does. I don't care about that card really. I just want to see how it does.
That's legit. But Craith, you make an interesting point. So instead of actually having these little mini stories leading up to Fastlane, which we know are probably just going to lead up to Mania anyways, just use that time for an overarching, like, longer build storylines.
Yeah, man, it's Fastlane's redundant. We already know we're getting Drew versus Bobby. We've known that since The Miz won the title, really. So just build on it. Give us a really good story going up to that instead of this just nonsense. It's all nonsense.
Weird Sheamus kind of like out. Do we know? Does Bobby Lashley have an opponent at Fastlane yet?
I can't recall off the top of my head.
Nope. All right. So what is Fastlane? What is Fastlane? When it comes down to it, it's a bookmark. It's a date. It's a way to cash in on a couple of pay-per-view buys.
It's a speed bump pay-per-view buys. What do they do? Like 5,000 or something now?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at the numbers recently.
I wonder if I can.
Although with Peacock coming up, this is a good time for WWE to test that pay-per-view, how they're streaming pay-per-views before, the giant one. So that does make sense, at least this year. But you're going through a huge shift change. Besides that, as Craith, you've mentioned, what has Fastlane been? Is it really even necessary? And I think it's just a cash-in.
No, honestly, Fastlane's not necessary. And anything from Raw that you can't find on YouTube probably isn't necessary either. It's been a clip show for months.
It's been
months.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and hit that hashtag Team Craig.
Yeah. I'm not being nice about it tonight, people. Jake's not here, so it's my turn. I gotta bring the heat.
He's bringing the heat with no resistance.
Awful.
Raw was like, Martin, is there any match on Fastlane that catches your eye?
The only thing that really catches my eye at Fastlane is really just a Raw Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss. That's really the only thing that makes me want to watch outside of Peacock.
Did you just say
Team Craig?
Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss? Randy Orton, who's probably got 70 pounds and 1.5 feet on Alexa Bliss. That is a match that's going to.
Yes, it is. And I don't see that lasting over 5 minutes. I'll see that lasting over 5 minutes. I see that the Fiend entering that match. So, yeah. At least that storyline is.
It's got to.
Yeah.
Thirsty Dawn. I don't even know the card other than Orton and Bliss. Apparently, we're getting Sheamus. Apparently, they have to let her. Tandy, they have to let her win, though, right?
It's gonna be some garbage, no DQ finish with the Fiend finally coming back in his final form. Some anime type shit, and it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be when it comes down to it. Yeah, it's gonna be just another interference match, and it's doing is setting up. This has been a bookmark for the Fiend versus Randy Orton, which they've had to go ahead and put off until Mania because they think it's going to be a big money. I have a feeling it's going to be not live.
Ooh.
What's the word?
Cinematic.
Thank you. Cinematic match.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I did bring up the card, and there are some not too bad matches. I see. So we got Nia Jackson Baszler with Reginald. Awful. I'm already disinterested. Versus Banks and Belair. Nobody cares, right? We already know how that's going. Roman Reigns versus Dana. Go ahead. Sorry, Jay.
Thirsty Dawn, just real quick. We're going to get the Firefly Funhouse 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And I'd like to point out that I called that on this show back when I was just on the comment section. That's going to toot my own horn. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, just go ahead and toot that horn, man.
Yeah. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan with a special guest enforcer. I guess that's fine, but Daniel Bryan might get added to the Mania match. I don't want him there, but he might, and that'd be okay. I would make it solid. He could help cover for Edge. But the one that what were we going to say?
I was going to say Daniel Bryan is a good wrestler. There's no reason to not have him somewhere on Mania in a good place with a good opponent. Brian's going to bring up a good point. We're going to get to that point, Brian, about McMahon and Strowman. We're working our way over there once we finish ranting about Bliss and Orton.
But Big E versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental title does look good. I'll give them that.
That was the match that looked good on SmackDown.
That's it. That's all I want to see. And shenanigans. This card looks like a dumpster fire.
Right. Sorry about that. I'm working on 18 different things while I'm doing this because I'm also Mr. Backstage. So, but yeah, let's talk about the Shane versus Braun at Mania. Is that at Mania? That was announced for Mania, right?
No,
just Fastlane for now, but that's where it's going.
But we all know it's a bookmark. So Brian says the McMahon and Strowman match will end in some DQ type finish. More likely than not, I agree with that.
All right, so when this feud got announced, Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman, I really had no problem with that. I mean, that match looks might be interesting, but last night, however, it really changed my opinion on this. This is why last night proved why this is why WWE we don't take it seriously. So we got Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon fighting in the ring. It's all going well. Shane goes to the upper hand. Shane hits an elbow from the top rope, and he figures that's enough. But nope. Shane McMahon, he poured green slime over Braun Strowman. I'm not kidding. Green slime. Like, what am I watching? Like the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards? What am I watching?
Gotta get that plug.
What am I watching?
On the Nickelodeon channel.
Why am I watching a wrestling show? Because it felt like I was watching the Kids' Choice Awards last night at the ending of that. It was just stupid. Now, I know Braun and Shane, I have the Imagine Fastlane, but last night just ruined it for me.
But can we admit that when the NFL went to Nickelodeon, that was actually kind of nice?
Yeah, that was actually interesting and not childish.
Right. It wasn't super childish. They were explaining the rules as if they were talking to a child, which, mind you, some of us actually need because of the catch rule, for instance. If you can't explain it to a child, then it probably was a catch. Sorry, there goes Jay going ahead and slamming on
what are we talking about?
Sorry, yeah. We're talking about green slime.
Mama didn't like the foosball.
When did we last see green slime or something like that used in WWE? I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, if something like that was used against the Spirit Squad with the DX coming back.
It was even more recently than that, too. What was it?
Something?
There was something in the last 2 or 3 years that they used the same thing on. I will do my Google foo. What are you guys talking about it?
Google foo. I'm full of energy right now, guys. So we got Nankage, bring green slime back. Hashtag bring green slime back. Everybody, write in the chat. We're gonna blow up WWE with it. So, no, I don't think Martin was. I don't think Martin liked it. I don't think Martin loved it. So yeah, just like, I mean, mind you, we all love the fact that Shane McMahon will do just about anything crazy. And Braun Strowman is a big, strong guy that can go ahead and, work with a little bit of crazy. Because you're going to need that. You're going to need someone that goes the extra mile to take down a monster like Braun Strowman. But it doesn't feel like if you're using green slime, that's what we're going to get. We got Brian, Rollins, and Ambrose when Rollins stole Ambrose's case.
Correct. But even more recently.
Even more recently than that?
More recently.
Brian, your Google foo is weak.
Just months ago, not even a full year, just months ago, when Miz and Morrison were feuding with Braun Strowman on SmackDown Live, they used green slime. Fun stuff.
So Braun's been slimed twice now.
This doesn't say if he slimed them or if they slimed him, but there was green slime used in that feud. So yeah, it's not a new thing. It's not even.
This is what you're getting in your wrestling product nowadays, guys. Green slime. Green slime. It used to be that wrestling used to be good. Way back in the day, they'd just back up a milk truck and you'd get milked instead. Now it's green slime, guys.
I will go down on the hill of that ruthless era, or the ruthless aggression era was by far the best era of wrestling there has ever been. Period. Ruthless aggression. That was it. I still go back and watch 2002 to 2004 SmackDown all the time. It was so good. Oh, yeah. It was so good.
So, I mean.
Beats the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
It beats the Attitude Era, man. Yeah, Attitude Era. If you go back and rewatch the Attitude Era now, it is more cringy than anything.
Really?
But yes. I go back and I watch it, and some of it is very distasteful. But Ruthless Aggression Era, they're just going at it. They're just fighting dudes.
You're saying that the Attitude Era, which had Too Cool dancing with the Hardy Boys in the ring, is less good than the Ruthless Aggression.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, I am. I'm saying nothing ever will be 2002 or 2004 SmackDown. And you could argue with me about that in the comments, people, but you're going to be wrong. So go at it.
Bring it. I don't know, though. I just called Brian's Google foo weak. And
yes.
I'm afraid that will make him, I will be his new arch enemy.
Thirsty Dawn is exactly right. That would be perfect.
Hold on a
second. Bring that comment up. I need
it. Hold on a second.
Ah.
If we could have Ruthless Aggression with the woman of today, it'd be perfect.
Precisely. Give it to me.
I mean...
Listen, Game Changer Sports Network, you're wrong.
Look, I started watching, I think, in 2004.
Oh.
And one of the first matches I recall seeing, the very first match that I watched in WWE, was actually a main event of Raw, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, and that's when I fell in love with pro wrestling. So I can't really call you wrong.
See, when I was a kid watching wrestling, my bedtime was too late, so I actually couldn't watch Raw, and I could only catch the first hour of SmackDown. So, de facto, SmackDown from that era was the best.
Oh, okay. That works. Well, I mean, but the Attitude Era had so many iconic wrestlers. You had Scotty 2 Hotty.
Listen,
there was no approval from you guys there.
No, I'll pop for Scotty 2 Hotty anytime. Just like I'll pop for Zach. I'll pop for Scotty 2 Hotty anytime, just like I'll always pop for Zach Gowen.
Well,
yeah. From the
we got any other Mania matches lined up already for WWE at this point?
Yes, we do. The New Day are defending their titles against AJ Styles and Omos.
Jake, I've taken over your show. Bear with me now.
Jake, I'm taking over your show. All right, so we got a tag match. I mean,
Yeah.
Of course WWE would do that.
I think that's going to be great, though. I'm excited for it.
Jake, I'm taking over your show, he says.
My bad. My bad.
Oh, my God. You sprayed it on your hair? You didn't drink any? What's wrong with you? Negative 10 points. That's a lot. That's like 8 party fouls at the same time.
Great.
Well.
Is he back?
No, wait, he's back.
12 party fouls.
12 party.
So, guys, obviously we can never invite Jake to a cookout.
Of Steve Austin Day, 316.
Yeah.
I got a feeling he's coming back soon.
Yeah.
Hurry, lock the room.
Maybe join us for the last 5 minutes.
Oh, goodness. All right. Yeah, that tag match. I'm excited for it. I think, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name because, again, I only read about the shows. Osmos, one of those. I don't remember how it's spelled. I think he's going to do some great work. He's just got to throw Kofi Kingston around. It's going to be fantastic.
He's back.
Here he is.
Sir, you're late.
I should probably go shower.
Oh, maybe.
You can probably join us for the last 5 minutes of the show. I think we're doing just fine.
See, if you would have tried drinking it, maybe you would have.
So as soon as I went, my hand slipped right on the tab of the second one, and I knew it was fucked from there. So.
Well, Shane goes ahead, says the first wrestling match he's ever watched was boring. He couldn't see the other wrestler.
See, Shane, I want to agree with you because I feel like John Cena was around my first match, but I know he can't be because I distinctly remember John Cena videos when I very first started vignettes when I very first started. So that's about when I started watching, just before his debut. And the Carlito thing was the best ever. I have to close my door. My dog is a maniac. You hear that?
I've got to close my door. All right, so we got a tag match. What about SmackDown? Anything been announced from the SmackDown side of things?
Outside of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair and Roman Reigns with his Edge, not really.
All right, so and that's the thing. I feel like we always cover Raw here, but SmackDown seems to be the one that's actually doing a little bit better. At least it's a little bit more interesting to watch.
SmackDown is actually entertaining. Yeah, it's an entertaining read at least.
But we don't really cover a whole lot. I mean, mind you, once again, I haven't. The first wrestling I've watched in the last 2 weeks was this morning after I got out of a train, and I'm just dying on my couch, fast forwarding through everything that I can. Not that I don't love wrestling. It's just that with my schedule, you do what you can.
No, it's also recency bias, since Raw was last night.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, so SmackDown set up a little bit of fast lane where next week we are getting Edge versus Jey Uso. The winner is the special enforcer at Fastlane for Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, and that's what we touched on earlier. And
right,
I could see, I don't know. I could see them both being added as special enforcers. And actually, I hope WWE has the cojones to do it. But what I would really love to see at WrestleMania is a fatal 4-way, not a triple threat.
All right, good now.
All right. So Craith was just saying, we got the Edge versus Jey Uso for the special enforcer at Fastlane. And he's saying that what he would like to see is it involving into a fatal 4-way between Jey, Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman Reigns.
Yes. That is a main event, folks. Vince, you can book me. Call me.
Call me.
Yeah.
One of our 12 viewers out here, 11 viewers, 11. That was Vince right there getting on the phone. Turn that stuff off.
I need this guy. Now. Pritchard.
Get that Craith guy on the phone right now.
But yeah, that's what I would love to see. Edge versus Jay versus Roman versus Daniel in a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. And just go bonkers.
I'd watch that.
And you know what? Just to blow our minds, let Jay win it.
Thank you. Wait, the Uso. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that would be pretty mind-blowing. I think Jay has been putting on some really good wrestling matches, though.
He deserves it. No, he's been fantastic. His promo game is great. His matches are fantastic. His Elimination Chamber spot was visceral, and I loved it. Jey Uso is firing all cylinders right now. Give him the strap at Mania. Make that create natural tension with Roman. Then throw Jimmy back in to save Jay and have the whole clan break down. It'd be great. It'd be such good shit, pal.
Well, we got Thirsty Don agreeing with you. We're going to take a quick one. Actually, Martin, go ahead.
If I told you before 2020 that Jey Uso would be a good singles guy, you would think I'm crazy.
Nope, I would have. You're right. We see you now, Oos.
Yeah.
We see you now.
We do.
Yep. I hate to say this, but Jimmy getting injured was probably the best thing that ever happened to Jey Uso. I'm sorry, but that's probably one of the best things that has happened to Jay.
Yes, yeah.
It's unfortunate, but true.
Unfortunately, yeah. But ever since Jimmy got injured, Jay has been spot on amazing. His promo game has been amazing. His matches. Who would have thought that Jey Uso would be a good singles guy? Who would have thought that?
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso would have. Absolutely. But you know what? You got to bet on yourself. When if something happens like that, you got to bet on yourself, and you got to perform to a T, and he's doing that.
Yeah, we joke around about brass rings a lot, but if there is one, Jay grabbed it.
I agree.
He ain't letting go.
He isn't. He is not. Now we'd like to take a quick minute just to thank everyone for joining us. Remember, you can catch the Game Changer Sports Network. We've got a Discord, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. We even got a TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to join us on all those platforms. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us whatever it happens to be on that platform. And, of course, if you happen to just be tuning in now and you're going, what happened at the beginning of the show? You can go on to GameChangerSportsNetwork.com, where we'll be putting this video up so you can catch it there. Or hop on to Twitch. It'll be available for the next 7 days. And give us a follow over there so you won't miss the beginning of the show next time. There we go. That was a good segue. So, Impact. That was a bad segue.
Big stuff. Big stuff on Impact.
Big stuff on Impact. I've heard a little bit of the news on Impact. I'm kind of excited about what's going on over there.
I think there's two really big stories coming out. So first I want to talk about our new tag team champions. They're a New Japan team, though, Jay. So I don't know if you're familiar with them, but FinJuice.
Baby! FinJuice. I'm so excited.
So can you give us some background, maybe, if some of our viewers don't watch New Japan?
All right. So Juice Robinson, David Finlay, some great American wrestlers that have been in New Japan for a while now. I believe they both went to the dojo. Juice might not have gone to the dojo. David Finlay definitely was in the dojo. David Finlay was in the dojo at the same time as, for instance, Jay White. So very good. And if you all are going, Finlay, that name sounds vaguely familiar. It should. Son of Fit Finlay. These two guys have been absolutely hilarious, charismatic, and very good wrestlers. I'm not going to say they're main event level, but these are very good entertainers, very good wrestlers. And they have done a lot of great stuff on New Japan. They've won the World Tag League. I believe that was last year. I'm sorry, 2 years ago. My mistake. Last year was GOD. So 2 years ago, they won the World Tag League. They've won the IWGP Heavyweight Champions. These guys are actual legitimate tag team, a legitimate tag team and a force to be reckoned with. And they went over to Impact. And what did they do, Craith?
They won the titles.
They won the titles. Sorry. A little excited. I love Juice. He's so charismatic, so out there. He's fantastic. Finlay is very good. He's very fast in the ring. I like his energy that he has. when he gets in there. So apologies if I'm absolutely gushing, but that's what I do.
What about you, Martin? What do you think about this this New Japan team taking the Impact titles?
I'm a little shocked because I figured with everything that's going on with the Good Brothers in AEW, I figured that Impact would want to give the Good Brothers a longer reign as Impact Tag Champions. But nope, they want to give it to Finjuice. And to be honest, I'm okay with it. Finjuice is an entertaining tag team. I've seen them work, and they are entertaining. They can work, and now they got now they are the tag champions. But wait, aren't Finjuice aren't they in Japan right now?
They are in Japan right now.
Yes.
With the Japan Cup going on at the moment.
Yeah, so we won't be seeing those tag team.
How much was it with you, Chad? Sorry, didn't mean to just jump on that. But Chad, thank you for joining us. We're talking about Impact Wrestling right now and the tag team champions going over to Japan with Finjuice.
But yeah, Impact is.
Thank you for joining us.
Impact is lucky that they tape shows in advance because they would not have a tag team champions right now if they did not tape shows like 2 months, maybe a month in advance, because Finjuice is in Japan right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how you can have champions in Japan when you're in America. But luckily, they tape shows months in advance.
Yeah, I mean that's a big advantage that Impact does have. So where they go with those tag team championships will be interesting to try to deceive and try to figure out. Craith, you got a hypothesis on this?
See, I'm not sure what Impact's end game is. They find themselves in a very unique position, and we'll talk about this next part here later. Yep. They could very, very quickly find themselves lacking on championships on their brand.
You know what? Go ahead and dive into that.
So, if you guys didn't get a chance to tune in, Rich Swann defeated Moose to unify the Impact World Championships, which lasted, what, a whole week, right?
Something like that.
But the kicker here is Rich Swann is already slotted to face Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship in a title versus title match. So if you guys have been following along with the show, last week I took a guess at saying that Moose's title was now official so they could lose one world title to Kenny Omega and keep one on their show. But obviously that's not happening anymore. So no, I have no idea where Impact's going. And you know what? I love it. I love it that I don't know. For once.
It is nice to have that uncertainty. Chad asked, when do you guys think we will see Rhea Ripley? Will it be Fastlane or WrestleMania?
See her
on the main roster. I think we've all came to agreement that that's going to happen after Mania.
Yeah. Nope, I disagree now.
Okay, well, okay.
You're changing it up on you.
Changing your mind. Like a father changes diapers.
Okay.
I was just going with something, man. I just go with it, please.
So with Lacey Evans now out, and I believe the plan was for Lacey Evans to go over Asuka for the Raw Women's title at Fastlane, and then go on to face Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Who would push Lacey Evans? Seriously,
horrible idea.
Horrible idea.
So that's where I thought I thought the original plan, but now that Lacey's pregnant, I still am willing to take it off of Asuka. See nothing. They take it off of Asuka. I think Charlotte takes it. I think Charlotte takes it, and then we see Rhea versus Charlotte at Mania.
Rhea versus Charlotte. Oh, yeah, because that still doesn't make any sense.
You don't make any sense.
I make perfect sense.
You're 42 minutes late. I don't.
I mean,
we're on the clock, sir.
Come on, guys. He did make a big entrance.
It could have been bigger had my can opened correctly.
He made a big mess.
Yeah, well, my wife just said the same thing.
Trinity, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Does make sense. There's history there. You'll see.
We got a question strictly for Martin, so everyone else be quiet. Chad asked, Martin, do you think we'll see Taya? Is it Taya or I always mess up that.
Taya.
Wrestle tomorrow night?
No, we will not. I have fear that we're going to see her at the next takeover, which will be in like the week of WrestleMania. But we
Do we know what was canceled for tomorrow night on NXT's side?
I think it was Ciampa. I think, but I'm not sure. But I know we're going to see LA Knight tomorrow. Well, I know we're going to see LA Knight tomorrow. And he said it should be match. But Taya, well, we're not going to see her, I would think, until at least TakeOver or after.
We've got Brian, of course, going back to the Impact and / AEW. The Swan and Omega title for title match to me is a bad idea. I like it gets help. I like that it helps Impact get more eyeballs on them, but in the end, Impact will look like a lesser show. There's no way Swan beats Omega. I have to agree with that. I don't see Swan beat Omega.
I disagree.
Really?
Is it Brian?
No. Straight up, Swan and Omega, yeah, Omega goes over every single time.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we get the next wrinkle to this entire partnership?
Ooh.
And somebody, unnamed, because it could literally be anybody from New Japan,
yep,
somebody screws Kenny Omega.
I don't see him screwing him for the title, though. I see it ending in some kind of shenanigans.
Is it title for title?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Jesus. No, then we're going to get a DQ. Hands down, we're going to get a DQ.
I like where you're going there, and I think I know.
And there's going to be the next wrinkle.
I have an idea about this one.
Uh-oh. Martin, let's hear it.
Okada.
Thank you. They're coming.
If anyone,
The Japanese are coming. The Japanese are coming.
if anybody,
That doesn't flow as well as British.
Over, it has to be Okada. With everything that with history that Kenny Omega and Okada have, it makes perfect sense for Okada to come in.
That's not what this entire thing is building, though.
Martin, you have to dig deeper. We have to go deeper.
Jay White is the one that makes the most sense.
Fuck Jay White. No.
He's not on my article.
No, he's not.
I threw out an article out there saying that I think Jay White is the next AEW World Champion, not just gonna beat out Darby Allin.
I don't know about all that noise.
Hangman
I
Page,
don't know about all that noise.
AEW World Champion.
That's a lot of noise you're spewing over there,
He's
Jay.
got a new shirt. It's still my era. He's calling out the rest of Bullet Club. Stop throwing things at me.
I 100%.
I'd like something set up so it like looked like it actually went through the camera.
I'm 100% in on Jay White being the one to attack Omega at the pay-per-view. However, I'm not in on Jay White being the next AEW World Champion. If anything, it's going to be the Impact World Champion.
I could see him being AEW just to finally show that they are willing to work together. I could see it, especially with how much, AEW wanted to work with New Japan when they first formed. I don't see it being a long reign. I don't see it anything like that. But if they New Japan goes ahead and puts their two titles together, the Intercontinental and the Heavyweight title together, and all that, I could see a little mixing matching with all these titles. Personally, I think FinJuice is going to drop the titles to Bullet Club, so we can have a Good Brothers versus whatever New Japan tag team Bullet Club happens to be. I've said it from the beginning. I think this is all setting up a big Bullet Club war.
I'm on board with that.
Thank you.
With the way, I'm still not on board with Jay White being the next AEW World Champion.
Okay, I'll take that.
But I'm on board with this all setting up to the American Bullet Club versus the New Japan Bullet Club.
Thank you.
I'm all on board on that now.
Thank you. All right. Woo woo. Yes. The Bullet Club hype train. Everybody hop on. Choo-choo's in the chat.
You know, you've said that multiple times, at least once a week, and nobody ever choo-choos in the chat.
You know what? Let me have a dream. Can we do that? Can we let Jay have one dream come true?
I guess we'll let it slide for tonight.
One of these days. Wow.
Sorry, I just checked the analytics on the website.
Yeah, you should be very proud.
You guys are thinking way too small, and that whole New Japan thing is just.
You don't get to choo-choo yourself.
I went to choo-choo myself.
You don't get to choo-choo yourself.
Go ahead. Sorry, guys. What's going on in the world of AEW while we have time?
No, listen. No, we're not getting away from your terrible fantasy booking without me telling you how this is actually going to happen. You weren't going to sec me like that.
Fine.
This is ending. This is ending with belt collector Kenny Omega versus the God Kota Ibushi. That's the end game. That has to be the end game. That's always been the end game. Kenny Omega has never, ever beaten Kota Ibushi in a singles match. It has to happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be fantastic, and I'm gonna explode.
I hope you're wrong, just so we can see your reaction to be wrong.
Look,
you'll be bald, so I'll be fine.
He won't be able to pull his hair out in frustration. I can honestly say I will not be upset with that. But I think the Bullet Club War comes first. I think Bullet Club War comes first, and that is the platform so we can get Kota Ibushi versus Kenny Omega. Because Bullet Club War happens, maybe the Bullet Club turns on Kenny, and Ibushi's the one that comes and saves him, and that starts up another kind of will they or will they not. I think they love playing on that.
No, they're going to be too gigantic. It's going to be the immovable object versus the other one I can't remember right now, and they're just building up to these two huge forces that are going to collide. They're both going to be unstoppable at the top there. There's not going to be any Jay White coming in and stealing the title. No, they are going to be dominant. They are going to be titans among men until this match happens, and it's going to be a war, and I'm here for it.
Trinity's basically saying you all need to get my layout.
No, I think my layout's better.
Your layout has the only reason your layout's better is because it has Gronk with a kitten.
I'm sorry. Oh, wait, Jay, are you saying my wife's not good enough?
Excuse me?
Oh no!
Is that what you're saying, Jay? Jay is gone. He wants nothing to do with that.
Oh, I'm clipping it. I'm clipping that. That's fantastic.
Just get me back when the New Japan Blitz starts, all right? You guys talk about it.
Oh man. You guys can catch that clip on all of our platforms. Oh goodness. Where were we?
Apparently talking about AEW.
AEW. That's one of the results I don't have pulled up.
Oh man. So what we just learned is that Jay does not think my wife is good enough. That's all I'm saying.
He's also terrified of her.
I'm not saying it. Other people are saying it. It's Jay. Jay is saying it. It's not me.
He's terrified.
And she's currently in the comments really mad at Jay, who really is, at this point, refusing to be on the show and face the consequences of his actions.
Oh, no.
All right, AEW.
AEW.
Has anybody watched Elevation yet?
No, but I want to. I heard Kenny Omega made an appearance in an impromptu match. Yeah.
Tony Khan also made the first appearance on screen he's ever made in AEW.
Really? He's never been on screen in AEW before?
Hey, back.
Anyway, so
I just finished with that banner too.
So, all right. So Darby Allin beat Scorpio Sky.
Get the banner back up.
Let me add myself back into it.
Oh, gentlemen, we got 8 minutes.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So we had Darby Allin beating. Now I lost my train of thought. You guys kill me. Scorpio Sky. After Scorpio Sky just won the proverbial and literal brass
Oh no!
ring.
Oh no! No! You don't get to just go right by that.
Can we talk about the wrestling?
Yeah, listen, Darby Allin, where's Scorpio Sky going now? What happens to Scorpio? Why would they let him win the match and then job him? Well, of course, because Darby Allin's not done. He's going to hold that mid-card title literally his entire career. So of course Scorpio Sky was going to lose. Now he's going to go turn heel on the rest of his teammates, and Daniel is going to go be banished to AEW Dark forever.
When was the last time Scorpio Sky was even seen with SCU? It's been like 8 months.
I don't know, man. Listen, I read a Daniels interview where he was talking about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky hasn't been with SCU for quite a long time.
And that's why, because he's a heel.
Now.
Yeah.
He's a heel now.
Listen. They're still listed together on their website.
Storyboard about Scorpio Sky turning on them?
No, what else is that? Like, is that it? Is that all they had for him? They're just gonna let him win this really big ladder match that had a bunch of much better names than Scorpio Sky, just for him to lose the title match, and then go feud with a 50-year-old Christopher Daniels. Like, is that the game plan for AEW? Because usually they're a little bit smarter about stuff like that.
Man, it's been 1 week.
And I feel like they've ruined it.
It's been 1 week in literally one match in one segment. Can you let the heel turn sit for a minute?
No. But what's the heel turn gonna do for him? What's the point?
It's gonna make him a heel. Duh.
He can't even beat Darby Allin. That's like.
Did we give Retribution much more than a week though?
No, because we didn't need to. Just like I don't need the heel turn.
Yes, we did.
I didn't. I wasn't here then. I did not. Nope. As I saw the Bane mask.
My beautiful, wonderful, very mad wife says Jay's about to see a heel turn.
Oh no!
I'm in danger.
You are in a lot of danger.
I assume I'm not getting that GCSN shirt then.
I make those calls. She doesn't. We'll see. Okay, she makes those calls.
And Jake is just as terrified as I am.
I'm in danger.
Oh, okay. We got like 4 minutes until the New Japan brief. We forgot the biggest part of AEW, guys. We potentially, yeah, take it. We potentially have a brand new Horseman group. Oh. How did we forget about that the entire show?
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Martin's star of the show.
Martin's the star.
All right, so I feel pretty good about this because at first I thought that MJF was not going to turn on, was not going to get kicked out of the inner circle because I thought it was going to be like Sammy or anybody else, but nope. They put him in a stable with Wardlow, FTR, Tony Blanchard, and Shawn Spears. And to me, that's a really interesting story right there. I did not see that coming.
Why even call him Shawn Spears at this point? They should just name him Fall Guy. At least they'll get some branding.
Hold on. Okay, let's ignore the fact that Shawn Spears hasn't done anything for a year. Let's start there. All right. So first thing, let's take this back to a minute to the promo. The promo itself was so well done. The most disappointing thing is that they could have had Sammy Guevara come out in a stupid little panda hat. I would have popped it a little just because I love that panda hat. Because he was not in the inner circle at the time. So the way MJF is on another level, 100%. The way he acted in that entire ordeal, 10 out of 10.
MJF is a star.
He is.
It was phenomenal. And then, as soon as he said, I was too busy building a group of my own, or whatever the exact wordage was, instantly I'm like, we're about to see FTR and Shawn Spears. The first red flag that went off.
Thank you for joining us, Trinity.
The first red flag that went off was that Wardlow wasn't out there with them.
Right, exactly.
That Wardlow's been there for literally everything except when he missed a week due to COVID. So now MJF is there and Wardlow's not with him? Interesting.
Fantastically produced segment. Whoever the producer was should get a bonus.
Give him the company. Give him. It had to have been Tully. In all reality, to set something
I have
up
no idea who they have producing, but yeah, that's a good point.
To set something up on in a stable versus stable that perfectly, it had to be Jericho and Tully Blanchard creating it together.
I don't know, man. There was a lot of turns there. It could have been Big Show.
Big Show was working on the outside the whole time.
Yeah.
That's all I have about that, though. Like
yeah, I'm
MJF
here
was
for
phenomenal. Sammy Guevara should have worn the panda hat.
Now, have they actually called them horsemen yet, or is that just the internet running away with the
internet?
ball?
They do. Okay, no, don't, Martin. They do have a name. It was leaked because their next episode is not live tomorrow night.
Ooh.
I am not going to say their name though, and Martin, don't say it either.
No spoilers.
I'm not either.
And Craith is looking it up as we speak.
Yep, Googling immediately.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful.
And trying to, fantasy book ourselves, the shows ourselves.
Is it something dumb like War Council? Because I'd laugh.
No.
Imagine if he actually nailed it right there.
I'd be impressed.
I would have been impressed.
Did you just see it?
No, I can't find it.
Oh.
I'll figure it out.
No. What is it? Safeguard 1? The guy on Reddit that's been ruining everything?
Oh, that's nice.
Jay, you got a minute and a half, bud.
Woo! All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time you've all been waiting for, it's the New Japan Blitz. We're going ahead and giving you wall-to-wall coverage of the New Japan Cup. We're down to 8. We're down to 8 with heavy favorites like Okada and Naito out in the first round. And I don't like that look. We've got Evil versus Yano, Shingo versus Kenta, Ospreay versus Sonata, and Jay White versus Finlay.
What you doing?
The heavy favorites right now are Ospreay or Jay White to win the whole thing. Go ahead.
Didn't you say Ospreay got injured?
It looked like he broke his nose in this last match that he had, Zack Sabre Jr. La Mystica, he landed heavy on his face and blood everywhere.
Gotcha. Ospreay is also a star.
He is. He's very good. I enjoy his matches. They at the end of the match, they had tied a towel around his head, so he's going around with this white towel. His blood's just leaking through as he's giving a promo.
That's badass.
With him as the new head of his own stable in New Japan, it only makes sense that he gets a first big win here.
What's the name?
Commonwealth Empire or something like that. It used to just be Empire, but they've changed it a little bit more. I think it's United Empire, actually.
Is Zack Sabre Jr. in it?
No, actually, he's not. Zack Sabre Jr. is part of Suzuki-gun.
Gotcha.
Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, Bay, Priestess, and the Great Okan.
Sounds like a solid lineup.
Yeah, it is a pretty solid lineup. But with that being said, we have just hit the hour mark. So that's it for the New Japan Blitz. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Ringside Roundup, brought to you by the Game Changer Sports Network. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. And once again, you can catch us over on Discord, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and even TikTok. This guy is super active on TikTok. Tell him to do the dances. Tell him to do the dances. The peer pressure, it will work, guys. 100% it'll work. But
I think we need a chat.
Absolutely.
I think we need a chat.
Okay, I'll wait to show you.
You're in danger.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you didn't catch this episode, if you're just joining us now, you can catch this episode on GameChangerSportsNetwork.com, over on YouTube, or even on Twitch. Make sure you put a follow on that Twitch so you can catch this and get your notifications from the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in danger. This has been the Ringside Roundup. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys.